Yo, welcome to Scaredycast, everybody. Brian,
Yes,
we don't have a Kelsey today,
correct.
but we do have a Davy Deathray.
Dare I say a better Kelsey?
Oh,
Definitely not Kelsey.
I like Kelsey with
I
a
can
beard.
confirm that. Yes, I have a beard. Yes, it's all true.
Davy Deathray, tell everybody what you do.
So what do? I talk about horror movies. I talk about physical media. Really, my channel is just getting started, so it's in the infancy stages, but my wife and I have like over 500 records. We've got some special edition fun stuff that I look forward to showing off. I'm a collector. I like to collect unique pieces of art. So if I go to a convention, I mean, of course, this is, manufactured, but a lot of the stuff, like when I go to a convention, I'm like, all right, I want to find an artist that does something that no one else does or has created something that I can find. So collector, music fan, film nerd.
What's like your favorite piece that you found at a convention?
At a convention, I think my favorite piece is I've got this Mystery Science Theater poster. It's like this turquoise color.
Yeah.
I saw the artist at Mad Monster the night that I met you guys and picked up, he did a Dawn of the Dead poster, I believe.
Ooh.
And so I've got those in the background on my channel. So if you go to Davy Deathray on YouTube, you can check that out. And that's one of those pieces that I think he only made like 400 or 300 of those. I worked Wizard World Comic Con for a little bit, and I found that when I was doing that, when I was working that job. So that's my favorite piece. Mystery Science Theater is my favorite television show of all time. I think it's the greatest concept. It's like comedic Dadaism. You take a bad film and turn it into something that everyone can enjoy by ripping
Plus,
it
like
apart.
improv and just so good.
Yeah. And it's like you kind of have to be a film nerd to get like a third of the jokes or half of the jokes. So it's sort of a rewarding show to watch if you're a complete dork with nothing better to do with your time than watch movies that you like or don't like.
I think Mystery Science Theater is like the reason why I'm so into crappy horror movies is because as a kid, I remember, I think it must have been on Comedy Central, but it was like early 90s. I would just catch it on TV every once in a while, and I would just watch it. And I had no idea what was going on, but I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
I wish I could word, what are these movies,
Yeah, a lot of Roger Corman stuff, like a lot of public domain movies. So Corman would like hire actors and a crew and try to shoot like 2 movies in a week or 2, or if he could. He was just crazy like that. So the quality is but by somebody that's so famous because they produce so much.
Right.
I found it, I must have been in like 6th or 7th grade. So it was like 92, 93, sometime around there. Same kind of thing, just stumbled upon it, was like, what the heck is this? I think it was one of the first times I ever used the internet because I grew up in Juneau, Alaska, in Southeast Alaska, and I went to the local university library there. I got on a computer that was just black and orange screen and looked up MST3K FAQ because I knew nothing about the show and printed out like this 30-page document that there were that many nerds at that time that were like, this is how you build Crow, this is how you build Tom Servo, this is the origins of the show, like all that stuff.
God.
So deep dive, and then I started recording episodes. Yeah.
That's nutty.
Dude,
Yeah.
Did you build one?
No,
Oh,
I'm not that skilled with my hands.
yeah, about it.
I don't believe you.
Well, maybe I could with enough time. We'll see.
Look, he's got some man hands.
Dude, hold those
I
hands
play
up.
music. I can play music.
Yeah, see.
They're not.
Yeah, if you're a musician, guarantee you got
Yeah.
dexterity.
I need practice to become a better craftsman, for sure. But
You said you collect physical media, you collect VHS tapes?
I don't have many VHS anymore. A lot of the VHS that I have now are tapes that I made for myself. So I started recording a bunch of Mystery Science Theaters. It played from 1 to 3 in the morning
Nice.
in my hometown. There was like a summer where they did that, so I have tapes and tapes of those. But I think that's all I've got because I just moved on to Blu-ray and all that kind of stuff.
I've fallen on some hard times, and before I came here, hold my hand, please.
Oh, God. What?
I had to sell my horror VHS collection today.
Wait. Hold on. You didn't just say, like, I don't know, the Stepfather collection. You said your horror collection.
They're all gone.
How many are we talking? Your entire bookshelf full of all of them?
They're all gone.
Dude.
Why'd you stop holding my hand?
Because I'm in disbelief.
Yeah, I'm in suspense because I don't even know how big this collection is.
Is this real life?
It was like 50 VHS tapes,
Okay.
but they were like,
Originals.
they're good ones.
Dude,
like-
you literally spent...
Creepshow 2, Halloween 3, Texas Chainsaw,
Yeah, you've been collecting these for literally years.
Phantasm 2.
Nice.
Oh, dude.
They're all gone.
So are VHS kind of like the vinyl of the
Kind of.
Yeah, I
movie
think so.
world? Just they get
like,
worse every time you watch them.
It was
Yeah.
just like the other day, Pete Davidson,
My favorite.
he came out and said that he started collecting sealed VHS tapes. And it's like, well, now those are probably going to go up.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if it's sealed, it's a whole new ball game.
That's true. That's
I don't have anything sealed. I have like 2 VHSs that are half sealed. Like the bottom is ripped out, so you can get the VHS out, but it
Yeah.
still has like the wrapper and like the battery. Remember, like you used to get like coupons for Energizer batteries.
Sure.
Oh
yeah.
my
Yeah.
God, yeah.
I have a Batman Forever and a Robin Hood Prince of Thieves that are still partly sealed.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of cool. Keeps the packaging all nice.
I think at my parents' house there's like a sealed jazzercise collection. Yeah.
Dude, get that out.
Dude, yeah.
I'll
That's-
use it.
That's probably the most common one, though. People order exercise tapes and they're like, that's going on this.
Yeah. You know
Never
what
going to
else?
do that, Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
You know what else my mom has? I used to watch the fuck out of it when I was a kid. It's a collection of like, I don't remember the exact years, but it's like a Van Halen music video VHS.
Yeah.
So all of their singles and all their music videos, and like the first part of it's just all David Lee Roth. The second part's all the Sammy Hagar songs. And it's just like this long compilation of all of Van Halen's music videos.
She still got it?
Shit, that's a good question. Probably.
Hell yeah.
That was
Yeah.
life before YouTube.
Right? And
Oh
like,
my God. Were
dude.
you actually you're like, I have to get the tape. It's the only way I'm going to see him.
and when it was like Saturday, it was like cleaning day, you know, we would just crank that shit up on the TV, just let the music videos play.
I had
mean,
the only
yeah.
the only music video VHS I had was the Weird Al Yankovic
Oh, yeah, yeah.
videos. Yeah.
I used to, like you actually said, the way you recorded Mystery Science Theater, same thing. I did that with like, you know how, this was just before my time. I did have a few cassettes, but I never like lived with them. CDs were like taken over, but you would make a mixtape, you know, you have to wait and record and all that. Well, we did that, me and my sister, during like summer vacations as kids at home. We would do that on MTV when they were like actually played music.
Yeah.
All of our favorite, like, you know, Sum 41, like, oh, start record on the VHS. And like, we would get our own like mixtapes of music videos and shit. That was so cool.
Dude, I hated like loving a song and then having to sit next to the radio all day waiting for it to go on so I could record it onto a cassette. I remember there was a song from Halloween 6
Ooh.
by this band called Brother Kane, and it was called Fools Shine On. So it was like only for that movie, and it was Halloween 6, so it wasn't
Yeah.
like a big movie.
Yeah.
It's like by not a big band at all. So like they would play it maybe once a week. So it was just like by luck, I finally got it one time, and it was like 30 seconds into the song, and
I love it.
I was like so happy when I finally got it. Now I got Spotify, I can listen to it anytime I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Shazam. We have
Yeah.
digital readouts that tell you who's playing on the radio now. Like,
It's absurd. Spotify has like an AI DJ.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I keep getting the pop up for it, and I'm too afraid to hit. Like, yeah.
Give it a shot. Like,
Oh,
I think it's
God.
pretty cool. I was kind of surprised. I'm like, I hate the real radio. I can't stand the
Same,
radio.
same.
The town that I grew up in, you don't want to listen to the radio. It was dreadful. And now when I listen to the radio, I think it's absolute trash garbage.
Yeah.
I got into
It's
punk
just
rock,
ads,
like,
man.
yeah. And
That's all it is.
when I was in middle school, got into punk rock and was like, don't need any of that because I've already found the good shit right here.
He's out there, pirate radio station. He's like
Oh.
building it in a bunker somewhere.
Well, I would stay up like if we didn't have school on a Monday, I'd be like, sweet, I can watch 120 minutes on MTV because it wouldn't start until like 11 or 12 in Alaska. And so shout out to Matt Pinfield, who's like showed me some of my favorite bands I saw all
Matty
for the
P.
first time. There's a great like Drain You performance by Nirvana that was from 120 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you have to find it at the right time. The first time I heard Blink, I saw the Damn It video in the middle of the night on 120 minutes. So
Shit.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Did I miss the 90s?
Yeah.
They're so great. My parents had a video store, and I got a Halloween 6 screener, and it was one of the tapes. It wasn't the same tape. I like eventually had like lost it, but like I had just rebought it, and it was one of the ones that I sold today, and it was hard because like
Dude,
it's
I'm
like-
sad.
I love like
We got
not many people love it, but dude, I love Halloween 6 because it was like it was kind of like my intro into Halloween when I was a kid. It was like the first
Oh shit.
You saw
like-
6 first?
I did.
Wow.
Oh no, I saw 1 first because I remember I wanted to see 6 really bad, And my mom was like, let's watch the first one. And we're sitting in the living room. She turns around for sure. She's like, remember, it's just a movie. I was like,
And how old are you at this point?
I'm like-
14, 15? I mean,
I was like 12, maybe, like 12 or
Okay,
13.
okay.
But like, I'm like, yeah, I know, it's cool. But oh my God, no way, dude.
yeah.
No way, dude.
But you went to H45, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. H45 is like a horror convention, but it's just Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
didn't know
it was a celebration of like the whole. So, I mean, it's centered around the 45th anniversary of the first movie, but it was the whole franchise.
Mm.
So there were like 20 or 30 alumni there.
Mm.
Like all the guys that played like Little Kid Myers, even the guy that played Little Kid Myers in part 4 when Jamie has like that hallucination or whatever, like she thinks she sees him in the mirror, like that guy was there. The original
yeah.
Judith and the original Michael were there, only in one scene in the whole franchise, and they're there. It was really cool. And of course, I mean, got to meet Anthony Michael Hall, got to meet Rowan Campbell.
And then John Carpenter showed up.
John Carpenter.
What?
did
Yeah,
show
he like showed up on Sunday or something, I
He
think.
showed up at the very end of the day. They announced, like, they let us know on Saturday that he was going to come by for a Q&A. But he didn't do any signings. I saw people got pictures with him, like, right before he came, because it looks like he walked up to, like, Nick Castle's booth while he was signing stuff.
Yeah.
So some people right at the tail end, got to see him. He was hilarious. I mean,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
just doesn't take it too seriously.
Yeah, he was a super nice dude.
Everything's bullshit,
Yeah.
and they're like, what was all that about? He's like, I don't know. It was bullshit. I didn't get a check for that.
Yeah. He just wants to sit at home and smoke weed and play video games now.
That's what it sounds like, but I'm okay with that because
Yeah.
his music's fucking killer.
He,
So I'm like, just sit at home and make music because his shit is awesome.
he like
got all this.
Destiny.
What?
Yeah, he plays Destiny a lot,
Oh
I
my
heard.
God.
Yeah, he's a big like modern gamer.
I have a question for you because based on your attire and the fact that we're talking about Halloween, I'm going to assume that you like Halloween.
I love it. That would be my one. I mean, that's my
number one
franchise.
horror
That's
film
my
for-
franchise. Easy.
Okay.
And
perfect.
I understand that. So I would say this, like, Friday the 13th is my wife's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Friday the 13th is more fun. Like, I can watch any movie in that franchise and, like, have fun with it, even the shitty ones. But with Michael, it, like, feels personal. And so the bad ones hurt me.
So this is, I was gonna say,
You know what I mean? Like,
so-
that's how it is.
yeah.
What you love.
It's like Predator movies. What we were
Yeah,
talking before the
yeah.
pod. It was like, dude, that's like my thing. And every one I watch, I'm gonna see it. I have to. They break a new Predator movie. I'm gonna be there, probably reluctantly. Then I'm gonna watch Predator die in some stupid way, get really pissed off about it,
Yeah.
and wait for the next one.
There's someday you're gonna get your Predator movie you're gonna love.
Manifest.
Someday you're gonna get the Predator who just wins and he's like King Conan at the end. He just sits on a throne and he's like, what's next?
They show that at the beginning of all the movies. They're like, look at how cool the Predators are.
Yeah.
Now let's kill them.
Let's kill them. Let's fucking. Thank you.
Here they are in Mayan temple.
Here's what I want.
Bones.
Here's what I want. The dream Predator movie would be following them around and like subtitles only, right? Because they talk in their own like clicky, liney language thing. So like I want like think Avatar, the blue people thing, but with predators.
Not the anime.
Not the yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to clarify. But think like Avatar, except what's the place called? I forgot.
Pandora.
Pandora. Think Pandora is like home to all the predators though, right?
Oh, okay.
Think of it like, because there's like whole canon and lore and all that. I'm saying go to that.
So you just want Predators.
Predators are like,
No humans.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like think like just
Like you
replace-
want what I want, a Transformers movie. Like just put us on Cybertron, just have us have Transformers. We
It's
don't
the
need-
easiest thing to do.
Instead
What
of-
the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
By putting people in there?
instead of always coming to our world, let's go to theirs, where every character is a predator or a Yaut Ja, whatever that's what they call them.
What if the third Avatar movie is the Predators killing all the blue people?
Oh,
I would probably sell my car.
they're both
to see
Disney.
that movie.
Yeah, James Cameron, if you're listening,
Man.
we want some of
Get
that.
on it.
We want
Well,
some
that's the
of that.
thing. I want like some crazy cinematics and him doing like taking down giant monster, creatures. Like
Okay.
I want
Like
all
a
that
whole
stuff.
like a whole Star Wars kind of world that they live
Yeah,
in.
like
Okay.
I mean,
There's
imagine.
creatures we haven't seen before.
Yeah, because it's always like the story for them is always like in the background. Like, okay, Predator 1, he's down there killing a bunch of Marines, a bunch of our boys, and then you're like, okay, I now have to hate the Predator, right? The reason why he's there is to like take on the biggest predator there. So like these are Americans, big dudes with guns, and they're strong and all that. So that's why he's killing them, right? But you don't even know that that's like the plot is him trying to be like a test run to see if he's like a good, he's got to prove himself, right?
Gotcha.
So like, why don't we just go to their planet where like the whole story is like the proving grounds thing, but they got to take out.
Did they do that? Like, didn't we go to their planet and one of them, the one with Adrian Brody?
But it was still focused on the entire team of people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that planet was actually not the Predators' planet. It was just like a game, like what do you call like?
It was like
a game where them.
Yeah, reserve, exactly. Yeah, like game reserve. So the whole planet was the place because you notice they drop humans off, then the Predators come and get dropped off. It's just like a testing ground. Like, yeah, you go to that planet, that's the big fuck off forest. You have fun.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna swing it back to Halloween real quick because they dropped the news today that Miramax bought the TV rights to Halloween. They're gonna turn it into a TV show now. That's gonna also spin into.
It's gonna be a whole cinematic
universe.
So it's totally retelling. We're starting over.
Who knows?
I don't know. The last rumor I read was that they want to make the TV series based off Season of a Witch.
Oh,
so Miramax got just the TV rights, and who got the film rights?
Miramax has the TV rights and half the film rights.
Gotcha.
And
with Trancas.
And Trancas has the other half. Okay. So yeah. So basically Miramax has the film and TV now.
Okay.
Interesting.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
I love it that if they do a Season of the Witch TV show.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think that would be a good way to go. I don't like when I first saw this first season of Stranger Things, I was like, well, this is a Halloween 3 ripoff. That's I was like, this is like the Goonies meets Halloween 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of Chalice being the doctor that's a drunk that's trying to figure out his shit, you've got whatever David Harbour's character is. I can't even remember. Because after the second season, I stopped watching it because they basically did a retelling of the first season. And I hate when TV shows do that. But anyways, the music, just the tone and everything. I was like,
the first season too, so.
Yeah, and you got that mysterious sense of foreboding, which I think Halloween 3 is all about that. Like, you just get these breadcrumbs and you know that something serious is going on, but you're finding out at the same time as Dr. Chalice. Yeah. So it's really cool to experience it through him. I think that would be awesome as a TV show. Even just a follow-up. Like, I was thinking, what if they did something that's called, like, Halloween Legacy, and we get some, like, kind of like one-off, like, what-if sort of scenarios. So you do a follow-up to Season of the Witch, or we get, like, a legacy, maybe a season that's just, like, a legacy sequel to H4 that's like Danielle Harris comes back.
Yeah.
And it's like what's been going on since then.
Right.
Any dead end or like miscue in the series, like you could do a follow-up to H2O and bring Josh Hartnett back. Like,
oh, man.
You know, they love undoing the stuff that they've done in Halloween. So to me, logically, it's like, why not go there? But who knows?
Yeah.
Feeling too risky.
Before Halloween 2018 came along, my like dream sequel was Paul Rudd from Halloween 6 and Josh Hartnett from H2O teamed up like the Winchester brothers in Supernatural, and they were hunting Michael Myers.
Oh.
That'd be cool.
Oh man,
there would be comedy. There'd be like the comedic relief. There'd be
it'd have Paul Rudd and Josh Hartnett.
Hot Boys.
It's too bad that he like. I don't know what his problem is. Maybe he had a tough time on set, but he just like disavows that movie.
Who?
Paul Rudd.
I thought I liked it.
Curse. He's like, every time he's asked about it, he was like, oh, I was in Halloween something. Like he doesn't.
I thought he was going to come back for one of the newer ones.
They asked him to come back for Kills.
I think he was doing like Ant-Man or something.
Yeah, like you can't come back to do that role, that Tommy role. Like how long does that take?
Well, I mean,
I'm calling out Paul Rudd as what's happening
better thing
because I've heard him talk about it in interviews, and I'm just sort of like, dude, and he doesn't go to any conventions. Never see him in a horror convention, right? You see him as Ant-Man. That's it. But I tell you what, Paul, if you came out to a horror convention, if you did Mad Monster, if he goes to H50, he'll have one of the longest lines out there. People will want him to sign Tommy Doyle stuff. Because the great thing about horror fandom is, people might talk shit on the keyboard and all that stuff, but they all love these movies. Even the ones they hate, they still love everyone that was a part of it. Like, the people that were part of Halloween 5, they didn't get to write the damn story.
I saw this man on Instagram standing with the I forget his name,
Dave McRae,
Corey, and like I forgot what my comment was on Instagram. I was like,
Oh, with Rowan? Yeah.
So the whole reason I was bringing up your attire and
I was
Halloween,
wondering what that comment was.
I just wanted to know what you felt about the latest movie because of how he feels about it. So I just wanted to see if you guys were the same on that.
So I really like Halloween Ends a lot. I would put it as one of my favorite sequels in the series. I think right now it's ranked 3rd. I've got the original 2018 and Halloween Ends. And when I was doing my ranking, I took it really seriously, and I thought, like, this is what I take seriously in my life.
Oh,
My wife's going to watch this and be like, I wish you took other steps seriously, like your money, dumbass. But no, I thought about it really seriously, and I'm like, man, am I doing a disservice to, like, the original Halloween 2? Like, you know, I was like, well, but in the original Halloween 2, like, if I'm going to scrutinize Halloween 2 as much as I'm going to scrutinize, like, kills and ends, then Halloween 2 is going to slide back because Jamie Lee Curtis is hardly in it. It's kind of a lot of it, you're sort of waiting for stuff to happen. You know, Loomis is great, but he just kind of shows up in the last act pretty much.
It's got Lance Guest.
And Lance Guest is great, and I love Leo Rossi. He's hilarious. It's got really fun characters. It feels more like Friday the 13th to me than Halloween.
Oh,
So I really like Ends for a few reasons. One of them is, like, we all knew what was coming. Everyone that likes Halloween knew that there was going to be this character called Corey Cunningham.
All right, hold on.
That he was going to...
I'm going to give you a challenge.
Okay.
Try to make me like Halloween Ends.
Okay. So,
Give me some explanations.
yeah.
Try to fill in something I'm maybe missing.
So we all knew that
'Cause-
this was coming, right? So we knew that Michael was going to share the spotlight with another character.
I had no idea.
Because, I mean, I didn't even watch, like, big spoilers. I'm talking just stuff that David Gordon Green, like, press release stuff that came out before the film.
I didn't
So
look at
stuff that was
anything-
sanctioned by...
I don't look at anything except for like a TV trailer.
And you didn't hear anyone even mention that there was going to be this character that would play a big role?
No idea.
Wow. Because it was all over.
totally forgot that David Gordon Green. What was the movie we were just talking about?
The Exorcist.
Exorcist.
That's why. Yeah. Same thing.
I had
So-
no idea. I thought it was like, oh, cool. Okay, Laurie and Michael, we're going to show it down. We're going to get to it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then the movie starts with this dude babysitting. I'm like, oh, man, Michael Myers going to come along and get this dude.
Yeah.
Oh. And then, like, immediately, the first thing immediately the movie started off, God, here I go again. Anyways, the movie starts off, everybody's outside trick-or-treating, having a good time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a year later, and Michael Myers is still on the loose,
Yeah.
and they're just letting the kids run around trick-or-treat as normal again?
Yeah, they feel pretty safe that they haven't seen him for a little bit, I guess. Yeah.
And then, you know, it just kind of...
So with that movie, was the first half really like slow, and the last half was like where everything happened?
For Ends?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think his Halloween movies are pretty even as far as, like,
because that's how
when stuff is happening. But I there's definitely character development that goes on. I mean, I think, so to try to get you to like Halloween Ends,
All right.
we had like 12 Michael Myers movies up to that point. And what's the very first complaint people have about Halloween Ends? They're like, Michael's sidelined in his own movie. It's called Halloween Ends. And I'm like, we've had 12 other ones. We've had 12. And Michael still gets some awesome action in this film. And at the same time, when he kills that redheaded nurse and throws her up against the wall and stabs her right into it, it actually makes sense more than the original Bob stabbing.
So he like, jacks up this nurse, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But Corey can just, like, take his mask.
Sure. Because he lets him.
Okay.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the biggest problem you have is Michael's Michael,
Yeah.
and then he's just giving everything away to like some kid, like in Gran
Michael
Torino.
Myers isn't going to be friends with anybody.
Like
We've had,
oh,
like you
that's
said,
true.
we've had 12 movies. When has Michael Myers have been like, oh, hey, you're cool?
Unless and
You're all right.
make it like
The baby
somebody
in 2018.
Oh my god. Yeah, like make it somebody that like he might know personally or something that has to tie with his story, but just being like, I met this kid.
He seems cool.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I think what the story is trying to show there in Ends is that, you know, what happens to Corey at the beginning when he's babysitting paints him, you know, the town thinks he's some pariah, he's a killer, he's this terrible person. And, you know, people are like almost running him over when he's crossing the street. It happens multiple times, it seems like, in that movie. Never happened to me, thank God. But yeah, I think that there's something about that whole idea that Haddonfield is a place that like breeds something that's like unsettling and that can turn people bad. And I think there's something about Michael, there's like a transference, you know, when Laurie's writing her book, she's talking about evil, changing shape.
Right.
And the only thing that really doesn't make sense with that is Michael does end up coming back and be like, no, I do want my mask back. Like, thanks for getting me back in the game, kid. It's like a Rocky V situation where, Tommy Gunn has to fight Rocky.
Corey's Tommy Gunn?
Kind of.
Oh, my God. I never looked at it that way.
But
I think you did it. If I look at it like that.
Yeah.
I love Rocky V.
And I think, like, so I understand why people don't like ends. I'm not one of those defenders. Like, I'm the kind of person where I look at nuanced opinions, and if you don't like something I like, it's no big deal. Like, we don't have to personally attack each other like people like to do on the internet. But when you talk to somebody face to face, people aren't like, oh, you're fucking this or that. Like, we just don't do that.
Yeah.
And so I think with ends, it's like, if you don't like the story, I totally get it. The film is still a beautifully shot film. It's got arguably the greatest soundtrack of all those Halloween movies, especially the David Gordon Green. I think the soundtrack's awesome. I think all the performances are really great. Rowan's awesome as Corey. Andy Matichak puts in her best performance as Allison in that film. Easily her best in this trilogy.
I loved 2018.
Yeah.
I liked Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
I think the only thing, my thing with Halloween Kills was like the couple instances where like Michael Myers turns into John Wick.
Oh, big time.
And I'm like, okay. There was the moment that kind of like flipped me on it was whenever like the girl guy has the gun and she's walking up and like Michael Myers kicks the car door and makes her shoot herself and I'm like,
I think that's just one of those but every horror movie's got like some gag kill, that's just sort of like makes you laugh. It kind of cuts the tension. Yeah. At first I was like, what the hell just happened?
I don't know, man. I was laughing my ass off when Michael Myers took on like 6 burly firefighters by himself.
Well,
and it was just like straight up just like Taekwondo shit. It was ridiculous.
But if you watch, like, I just rewatched those like right when we came back from age 45. I was like, I have to rewatch these.
Mm-hmm.
They do, you can tell it's James Jude Courtney doing those stunts because he is an older guy, and they could have hired a young stuntman to be like Slick Michael. But you notice there's like the one where he like stabs the person with like the halogen thing, and he sort of like bends in this like old guy kind of way. He doesn't act like, yes, he is taking them down without much of a fight, but there is a little bit of like, I appreciate the fact that they were like, we're gonna hire a 61-year-old guy to play Michael Myers.
I appreciate that's a cool detail. I did not know that, like that he did like all this.
I'm pretty sure that's him there because it looks like an older guy.
Okay, yeah, but either way, like that's cool, like detail. However, it's like knowing him as this like slow, foreboding character to all of a sudden you see him like unnaturally fast, like blocking an axe while kicking a guy in the head, and he does a bicycle kick, and it's just like,
some of that's in the editing too.
True, but it makes it look like so like fast and unhuman even for him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like seeing him as this like big slow kid. It'd be like if Godzilla was moving super fast. You'd be like, whoa, you're giant and you have to take giant like big swings. Sure. So now it's like if you're just like, it'd be like, whoa, this is not right. And to me, it kind of was jarring being like, he walks out of the fiery house just all slow, and then it was just like, whoa, and it was like, whoa.
These people don't put up much of a fight. They just kind of like stare and wait for him to like, okay, stab me in the face. Like the only guy that really gives a fight is the guy with the saw. True. It's like, I'm going to get you, and Michael's like, somehow I'm going to turn this around and
but then
chop you
explained like the 30 townspeople surrounding him and somehow.
That must have been a reshoot, right?
Wasn't like didn't like a lady have an iron in that like?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's something.
There was some lady who said like a weird household appliance.
Yeah.
Where it was like.
So I have a question. Does that mean if Michael Myers, he's basically immortal? Basically.
I mean, yeah, I guess they ground him up in Halloween Ends. That's the only way to really
That was the only thing that I think would have saved Halloween Ends at that part is if he grabbed Jamie Lee Curtis and pulled her in with him.
I thought she was just going to jump in of her own accord. I was like, she's going to like end.
My life's done. I
she's
did it.
going to be like, I have to go with him. That's what I was hoping that they would both die.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I
have the villain without the hero or
something
hero.
like that there's just got to be some balance there.
Or the other thing I was really hoping for was at the very, very end when there's the knock, when Laurie's at home and there's the knock at the door and it turns out to be like the sheriff dude and he's just there to flirt some more.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to be like somebody from a different horror like franchise.
Oh.
Like who came and found Laurie was like, hey.
Ghostface?
No, not like Ghostface, but maybe like Sydney. Like,
gotcha.
Or like.
So still in the,
Yeah, like, or
Alice.
Like Tommy Jarvis or somebody who's like, are you Laurie Strode? I could use your help.
Something
like that. Then like, oh shit, we're going to get Laurie teaming up with this to go fight.
Yeah,
Like
I would love to see something like that. I think the team up movie rather than a versus would be really cool.
Yeah, it's because I'm so sick of versus. I'm over it. But like you were saying before with the G.I. Joe Transformers, where it's like that little nod at the end that you're like, oh, okay, that'd be pretty cool. Like, yeah,
I don't like the Transformers movies, but wait, you're gonna cross over with G.I. Joe?
yeah, like let's have two heroes.
Yeah,
Like, let's have two. You know,
Crazy.
So do you think does that mean that the power of Michael Myers is in his mask?
It seems like the mask definitely has something, like there's something going on, because in Kills, he really, like it comes off multiple times in Kills, and even, what's her face, Lindsay, kind of pulls it off a little bit, and his very first thing is, I have to put this thing back on. So I think there's something going on with his mask that he feels
it
like
happens and ends too, I think, when they finally take it off of him.
Yeah, he wants it back on.
It's
He
like,
kills Corey basically to get it back.
yeah. So I think that's got to be, right? Because that's how the mask would keep going, and whoever puts it on becomes that, like, basically unkillable.
Well, I mean, like Halloween ends with like you see the mask on the table at Laurie's house.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
They should have ended it with the breathing instead of with the Rocket from the Crypt song. What's that called? I'm totally brain farting.
Me too.
Halloween ends.
Don't Fear the Reaper.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it like in early 2000s. I was trying my best to be a filmmaker, and I was making a short film, and there was like a casting place here in Arizona, and like I gave them like my info, and they put out like a casting notice, and I started getting some emails from actors, and I got one from this guy. He's like a friend of mine now. I still talk to him. His name's Tom Proctor, and I look at his like his resume. It says Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, trucker, and I was like,
See the guy that gets his neck twisted?
yeah.
That's
And like
that's
I
an
emailed
awesome
him
kill.
right away. I was like, hey, just got your resume. Like, you want to be in my short film? He's like, yeah, really interested. Like, just doing some acting things out here in Arizona and stuff. I'm like, but dude, you were in Halloween
Yeah.
6. You don't want to be in my movie now. But the funny thing is, like, he's like that guy now that you see. He's in everything, but he's like you see, like he's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Gotcha.
Westworld. He was like an Escape Plan. Like he's in like all these movies and TV shows now. He was in Justified and stuff. But he's like that guy now that you see in a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But he'll tell me, he's like, dude, I'm in Guardians of the Galaxy. I was in Swamp Thing. Like I'm in this and this. But everybody only comes to talk to me about Halloween 6. So I'm like, dude, it's because like
Loyal fans.
it's just like you could get that. It's just like the dude who played the first Jason, like as a kid.
Yeah, he still does that.
Like
yeah.
you just got to get that one horror movie.
Yeah.
And you're like set. Like you can go to conventions the rest of your life.
That's why I would love for Paul Rudd to come back. You know, come back to Halloween.
I bet you're thinking like
if Paul.
if Ant-Man never happened, he'd probably be there.
I think it would be a cool move to do despite it. Like, I think it would be, because he seems like a pretty down-to-earth guy. I watched him on Hot Ones.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, if you just knew the amount of love that you would get, no one would come up and give you a hard time. Like, even though you talk like some weird Orson Welles character in Curse. I'm with you, Tony. Like, I like a lot that Curse has to offer.
Yeah.
Especially, I think, if you put together the producer's cut and the theatrical cut and have the best of both worlds, because the producer's cut has these really great long tracking shots at the university and at the Strode house that the regular version doesn't have, that just makes it feel a little more like the first movie.
It has like probably the worst soundtrack of all the movies too.
Especially the theatrical cut.
There's like this
just all this weird.
Yeah, there's like the series in the operating room killing people, but like the music is just like offbeat drums. It's like like it's just somebody smashing instruments together.
Someone got a new synth. And
Yeah.
just like super stoked to try it out.
Well, and that I think they tried to modernize it too. They're like, we're gonna be badass, like 95 metal, you know. And it's just like, it doesn't age. It's not very timeless. The producer's cut has like a regular score.
Oh, okay.
And that's one of the reasons why I really like it. It doesn't have as much gore. With Tom Proctor's kill, they don't twist the neck as far. What's his face's head doesn't explode in the basement. John Strode, the biggest asshole ever, like one of the funniest, most cruel characters ever. I love how badass he is. He's just such a prick. He's such a prick. Yeah, go ahead, Deborah. Why don't you give her all our goddamn money? Like,
Dude.
what a fucking prick! Your grandson's about to kill you, dude. And then there's some weird thing going on with his daughter where he's like, my baby girl, she's not my baby anymore. And it's like, did something happen there that they're kind of letting on that they don't want to push too far
Oh
into?
my God.
Because he's a genuine creep.
Dude. So like that came out in early 90s. In Search of Darkness is doing another, like they did 3 documentaries about movies from the 80s, and now they're going to move into the 90s, and they're going to do their first ones about movies from 90 to 94. So like, do you guys have like one that you would pick from that era to watch again? Maybe one you haven't seen since. Like,
Dude, there's so many. I can't just pick one. Do I have to just pick one?
yeah, 1 or 2.
Oh,
Pick ones that like you guys
One that
have
you want
maybe.
one you want to watch again.
Yeah, ones you haven't seen since maybe.
mm.
Like I got like, obviously there's like Tremors or Silence of the Lambs or things like that, but I've seen those like so many times.
Yeah.
But like I was thinking last night of one that I haven't seen since then,
Oh, I see. Okay.
and it's called The Good Son.
Oh shit!
Y'all see The Good Son?
Yeah,
No.
that movie's hardcore,
Dude,
dude.
The
No.
Good Son is with Macaulay Culkin
Okay.
and Elijah Wood.
Check.
And
Oh, really?
Elijah Wood is like, I forget, he's like a friend of the family or like a cousin or something, but he goes to stay at their place, and Macaulay Culkin's a kid. And at first they're like friends, but it turns out Macaulay Culkin is a dick. Like he is trying to murder his sister.
He's a total sociopath.
Yeah, he's trying to
He's
murder
like
everybody.
planning all this shit. Like he is a genuine creep.
Like Home Alone, but with
Home Alone
Killing
meets
his
The
sister.
Omen.
Yeah.
oh,
Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Home Alone. There's a part where like
That's a new hashtag.
it's like in the tree house, they get a little argument, and Elijah Wood starts like climbing down, and like Macaulay Culkin like looks down and goes, "Hey," and like Elijah Wood looks up, and Macaulay Culkin goes, "Don't fuck with me."
Yeah.
I'm like 10.
Yeah. It's. I remember one scene.
This
So
sounds insane.
Dude,
Yeah.
it is insane.
it's this whole like, yeah, you think everything's fine, and then he just, Macaulay Culkin plays that creep.
Yeah.
So well. And I remember one scene, like I saw that when it came out. I don't even know when that was, but I was just a kid. And there's the scene where they throw like the straw man like off the overpass
Oh
to
yeah.
cause like a catastrophic car accident,
Yeah.
like on the freeway or highway or whatever. Like,
Bad.
and he's just basically like, I think he puts it all on Elijah Wood. He tries to make it sound like it's like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
Feature length.
It's almost like the origins of a serial killer.
They're out.
That's what
They're out
happens.
ice skating, and there's like the thin ice area that's tarped off. They're like don't go out there. It's thin ice. Like he just swings his sister into it. He like spins it, like clotheslines her into this thin ice. Like
Damn.
he tries to like murder the mom, and dude, it has that like classic scenario at the end where they're both dangling off a cliff, and the mom has like Elijah Wood in one, like holding on to Elijah
good
with
kid.
one, and Macaulay Culkin with the other one. She can't pull him up.
She's got to pick.
She's got to pick which one's gonna drop.
So
I'm assuming she drops Macaulay.
He's like sitting there. He's like, "Mom, I love you." It's like
She's like,
gonna murder her.
yeah, we need one less future politician in the world. He's gonna drop here.
Wait.
Yeah, Home Alone.
Home Alone. That's so good. I found something out last night, and I'm kicking myself because I didn't know.
What?
All Hallows Eve 1 and 2. No, sorry, just the first one.
Yeah.
Has Art the Clown.
Yeah,
And then the Terrifier movies start, but there's no other characters besides Art that like are. It's like there's no reason for it to not be canon.
Right.
But I didn't know that, and now I have to watch All Hallows Eve because I was like, is that Art the Clown? And I looked at it and it was like something, terrorized by Art the Clown. And I was like,
yeah. It's like getting a feature on a album before getting your own
dude,
full length.
this whole time I was like, are you kidding me? And I didn't, I thought Terrifier 1 legitimately was like the first, the big thing, but I just found that out and was
I
like,
haven't
damn.
seen any of those.
Ooh, really?
Because I'm like, can I handle that? Because I go to horror for so many things, but like lingering on like, scooping brains out of a head or something. I'm just like,
So like you're not a gore guy, you're like a good kills.
so I'm like a huge Evil Dead fan. So gore, there's tons of gore in that, but it's like fantastical and like almost over the top.
Yeah.
Dead Alive,
Okay.
another like that's an early
That's a
90s
90s
film. It's like
yeah.
91. That's my favorite thing from New Zealand. My second favorite thing from New Zealand is a band called the Beths.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Flight of the Conchords.
They're really fun too, but the
Okay.
Beths are one of the. I just found out about them. They're one of the best bands I've heard in like the last couple decades. They're fucking awesome.
Is Dead Alive like your early '90s choice?
I would say it has been a while. I tried putting it on the other night, and my wife was like, "Oh my god!" Once the ear falls in the pudding, the custard, she's like, "I don't know if I can watch this." So we turned it off. But the first time I saw that, I had graduated from 8th grade or promoted from 8th grade, and a girl in my class, actually they were twins, Paige and Lisa Mitchell, had like a graduation party at their house. We rented Dead Alive. And we put that on, and I think it was Lisa that ended up running to the bathroom to throw up.
Dang.
Once the dog's getting pulled out of the mom's mouth, she like ran to the bathroom, and it sounded like she was. Yeah.
That's
So that's the kind of movie. So that's the kind of gore I can get down with because it's so over the top. It's like,
okay.
But with Terrifier, I'm like, I could probably watch it by myself.
How'd you feel about The Thing? That's a
I love
that's a
The Thing.
body horror
Yeah.
and splatterfest.
I think the thing Zeke and I were talking about that earlier. It's probably the greatest creature feature of all time.
That's
Yeah.
bold, but I'm not gonna fight it because
It's got everything.
it's so good.
It's like reminiscent of like that 50s, 60s, kind of like Tremors is really similar to like the 50s, 60s Roger Corman like drive-in kind of pictures, double feature kind of stuff. But The Thing just has what is it? John Dykstra that did the effects for that, or Rob Bottin? Rob Bottin, right? He did the effects for that. The special effects are just gnarly in that movie.
Oh yeah.
And the mystery, like the paranoia, I think that's one of the what really makes the movie work.
Because you have no idea, and then like even the dogs get like infected.
And, yeah.
through chain link fence, like it's like that unknown, like what is this and what is it capable of?
Yeah.
And now it's like maybe airborne, and so you said I think Event Horizon, or maybe it was you said came out after
Late 90s.
it was late 90s.
Yeah, it's like late '90s.
Because there's almost that kind of vibe of like everyone's looking at each other like, almost like a whodunit. Like one of us could be infected. One of
Are you ready for this?
What?
Never seen Event Horizon.
Oh, it's really good. It's The Shining.
joking.
It's The Shining meets 2001.
Like,
It's
I just never. I think when I was a kid, I tried watching it, and like, I think my parents wouldn't let me. Like, I wanted to watch it just because Sam Neill was in it.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, this guy from Jurassic Park. I want to see this. They're
Right.
Like, no, I don't think you can watch this one.
Dude, it's
And I just
gory.
never got to it.
It's like a psychological thriller. It's sci-fi. I feel like as far as like sci-fi horror, like I don't know. I can't really like. I like it better than Alien, but
better than the original Alien.
which is bold.
Yeah,
But I'm also a little biased because I'm a Predator fan and I hate xenomorphs.
gotcha.
What's like your early '90s pick then? Like, what's your one from
Dude, there's so many. But
'94? You have People Under the Stairs kind of guy.
no, I haven't seen that one. It's on Shudder. I need to watch that.
Yeah.
I was thinking, because I was just actually going through Shudder last night. From Dusk Till Dawn, was that early 90s?
Late. That's like 97.
Shit.
What about
I'm striking out.
you mentioned we had talking about Sam Neill with Event Horizon. Have you guys seen In the Mouth of Madness?
Uh-uh.
I think
No.
is that early to I can't remember what year that is.
It's like I think, like mid '90s ish. Yeah.
That's a John Carpenter film that's a cool mindfuck movie.
Predator.
Sam Neill is just the guy to go to if you
Yeah.
want some spooky shit.
I'll say Predator 2,
Yeah.
because it's not really horror, but there's a lot of gore in it.
Yeah.
When he's stringing up those gangsters and like skinned their bodies and just hung them.
Like, he's in the bathroom, like fixing himself,
Yeah.
and he's like screaming.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not gonna get into my whole Predator tangent, but I don't know. That's one I could watch because it's funny too. It's
Did you like how
ridiculous.
they like the one that came out, Prey? How they like tied
Yeah.
into Predator 2? Like,
Oh, with the flintlock?
yeah,
I did.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, there's a little bit of continuity.
We got like just a few minutes left, so we need to jump on our big cryptid news of the week. We
Oh yeah, we've been talking about movies this entire time.
we had a little Bigfoot sighting.
Oh,
What do you think? You're the Bigfoot guy.
Where at?
This happened
Colorado.
in Colorado.
I forgot between what to what. It's on. Okay, so I'm gonna assume we're gonna make a TikTok out of this. So I'm not.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and just go crazy. But here we go. So picture this: you're on a train in Colorado, and I'm sure we'll have the footage up. You can see the footage later, whatever. It's like it's a passenger train, So it's like maybe like a fun little touristy thing.
Yeah, I think it was like one of those. It's kind of like how you can take the Grand Canyon Road around. It's
from,
like one of
really
those
high.
things.
So it's like all you see is, it's like picture a giant open hill with just bushes, no trees, and the train's going around it wide like this, and the guy's just like kind of filming it as the train's going, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you see this thing, and everyone's like, wow, oh my gosh, the elusive creature. And I'm like, yeah, that's it? That's all you got to say? And I was like, okay, first of all, I don't like that, but sure. So then I'm watching, and it looks like, dude, actually, you know what? Before I go into this, what was the first thing you noticed when you saw it?
His hair was very nice.
It's silken.
A very like
it's like
silky,
a
nice,
Pantene Pro V commercial.
Like he uses herbal essence.
Dude, it is like this silken, like that
Like
70s
Leif Garrett hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Peter Frampton.
like the 70s blonde, really shiny hair.
Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah. And I'm like Cousin It, just pure straight down shiny hair.
And
I'm like, yeah.
"What's
And I'm
up,
like,
people?
and then
How
like,
you
he's
doing?"
kind of, he takes a few steps and then he like sits down on his butt facing the train.
But dude, when he sits down,
Yeah.
he like instantly blends in with the mountain.
Which is
And-
cool. It's pretty cool.
And like if he was sitting down that whole time, nobody would have even known he was there.
If you blink, you'll lose it.
Yeah.
In the second part of the thing. Here comes the problem.
Hoax, probably.
Dude, oh my God. The suit, you can tell it's a suit. It's nowhere near, like, look, when you see muscles move around in your body and shift around, like, you can't do that in a suit unless it's extremely tight,
Sure.
And I mean, even then, from that distance, like, I don't know. Regardless, it's not that close. He's way too clean. Like, there's...
What if he just got out of the lake? Like, what if he did?
Bigfoot would be like dreadlocks.
matted,
Like, I have a cat that's
nasty.
really furry, and if he lived outside, he'd be a mess.
Oh my God, outside,
Shit
exactly.
hanging in his
Dude, you
butt.
guys don't think that
Also-
Bigfoot takes care of his hair?
I don't think so.
He's got like
Because-
pine needle like combs or
Sure.
something.
Based on every account ever, no, not even a little bit. In fact, there is rumors and stories of like ancient times of stone golems, what they called stone golems, which was freaking Bigfoots, but they had such like
feet.
big feet, whatever, Bigfoot.
Oh, they
Maybe
had,
it's like moose.
mange.
No, you got sap from all the trees, mud, dirt, and clumps of hair
Yeah.
that the people would shoot them with bow and arrows and it couldn't penetrate them because they were so matted with sap and mud, and they would rub it on themselves so that way they couldn't get hurt by the weapons. Then they just walk up and smack the people around. But there is like old legends of what they would call stone golems because they thought they were made of stone because of that. So I'm like, yo, this thing is matted, stinks like hell, and is like running through bushes and twigs and God knows what else.
Yeah.
It's a wild animal. And you're going to tell me that this thing is spotless. Okay? First thing wrong with that. Second of all, it kind of looks like a Chewbacca costume. It just looks too squarey. It doesn't look like it form fits. Kind of weird.
From the holiday special.
Yeah. Then, third thing. This is, as that one jackass said, the most elusive creature. It's like, yes, it is elusive. Why in the hell? And it zooms out and you can really see. The landscape is like a massive hill meadow. There is not one tree. Okay. Why does this thing, not only in broad daylight, it's like fucking 11 a.m., this thing walks out, sits down, facing the bus, or sorry, not the bus, the train. It's like this is a passenger train full of people that's probably making a lot of noise. And yet this Bigfoot's like, oh, let me catch that. Let me get right in the middle, sit down in the field while this passenger train goes by. Dude, that thing would have never even come close to the opening. There's no reason for it to be in that field.
If this is the way that Bigfoot behaves,
Yeah.
then
We would have found him a
proof
million
so long ago. It's the furthest thing. I mean, knock on someone's door, their pet is going to run away from the door.
Yeah.
It's like a Bigfoot would be like, no, I'm not going near that train.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm too beautiful.
Dude,
My hair is too low.
maybe at night, maybe.
Yeah.
But
It seems
like,
like it
if
was
this
set up.
one did, he finally this was the first Bigfoot cracked the shampoo code
Uh-huh.
by using the right amount of like berries and things, hair's looking good. He's like, you know what? I need to be seen.
The metro
hair
section
is
of
too,
Bigfoot.
Dude, it's
yeah,
2023.
just too on point.
Probably painting his nails and
So he's like, I'm gonna go in this meadow and just let these people have it.
bask.
I identify as beautiful.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You know.
fucking BBW, big beautiful, BBB, big beautiful Bigfoot.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
BBW is something else.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
right.
That's Buffalo Bill's
Bacon-
wings.
Bacon Whopper.
Yeah, the Forest Service has come out and said they don't know. So they're not saying it's fake. So
They should have just come out and been
been
like, too beautiful, folks.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
It's not
saying
real.
I am very surprised though. I figured you would have been like, dude, this is it. Like,
Oh well, I mean I was when I first saw it, and I was like,
yeah.
okay. Upon first review, I'm like, if this is real, this is stunning. And then I zoomed in a little and was like, oh no.
You like studied it and everything.
Oh dude, I've watched that video
Zipper
so
on the
many.
back.
And I start seeing it on Instagram. It's blowing up on TikTok. It's going everywhere. And I'm like, dude, come on. And here's another thing. I was reading in the comments. They were like, oh, somebody was like, oh, that's this train and this little tour. Like, I did that, this year, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, those people are really fun. Like, they like to have fun on their tours. And I was like,
Yeah.
maybe they had a
It
It was
guy.
like fake train robbery. thing.
Yeah,
It was like-
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
okay, Tom, yeah, go ahead and walk into the meadow. And then he's just like throws his thing on, walks out in the middle as the train's perfectly passing by. I was like, sus. So they didn't say like, oh, this happened to me when I was on this trip and it was fake. But they just said, oh, these people like to have fun on their tours. And I was like, So now I'm thinking it was just totally staged.
Sounds like
It's
yes.
way too good, dude. It's way too good. And it's still blurry. It's still shitty, like
Yeah.
with a camera,
Yeah.
but still,
It's like special effects in a movie. Like, you don't want them to be too clean. Like, you want them to be kind of obscured and a little like messy because
funny you bring
that's
that
the way
up.
real life is. It's a little messy, and that's why practical
yeah,
works better because it's not.
agreed. And that's why I like watching things in like standard or even like a VHS, because when you see it in Blu-ray, it's too real.
Unless, yeah, and certain movies do a better job. Like, sometimes they're like, they put a real team on it. Like, I have a Blu-ray of The Fly that like looks a little odd. It looks like those British like video dramas
weird, yeah.
where everything just moves too smoothly.
Like-
but I have other Blu-rays that look so much better.
Almost like a soap opera.
Like a pan and scan. Like, it just looks, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
But-
those.
But like the Jaws Blu-ray is like they went in there and like color corrected the skies so it like so the sky matches when they're out hunting the shark, and it's like those are little changes I don't mind. Go ahead
Yeah.
and make those. It's not like George Lucas special edition kind of shit.
Sure.
It's just like you want it to be consistent from shot to shot, and I appreciate that, you know, a company like Universal is willing to actually put money into that because they could just get your money. They could just put a steelbook out there, not do anything to it,
Yeah.
you know. So I appreciate it when they actually give us something worth the cash.
Davey Deathray, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Where's the-
Yeah, it's been
watch you
great.
at?
What's that?
Where can everybody watch you?
Oh, you can watch me. So Davey Deathray on YouTube, pretty easy. On Instagram, Davey Deathray. I'm on Twitter or X or whatever you call it. I still call it Twitter because I'm old.
Yep.
So Davey Deathray there as well. I just got a TikTok, and I guess Davey
Oh.
Deathray's taken. So I did Davey Deathray 82 because I was born in 1982.
What's the Davey Deathray doing on TikTok?
Nothing yet. I just got one
Ah.
yesterday, but I figured this is a good place to, like, you know, cut up some stuff from my videos on YouTube to just spread the word to a different audience, or maybe reach people that I wouldn't have reached otherwise. And then also, like, you know, if I sit down, like last night I went and saw When Evil Lurks with my brother and my wife. If you guys seen that,
No.
it's fucking incredible.
Ooh.
It's this Argentinian possession movie,
Huh.
but it's like,
Is that like the poster? The guy's like he's like holding an axe. It's like a red.
yeah, it's like a
poster.
woman holding an
Yeah.
axe near. So it's this really, man, it just, the acting is some of the best acting I've ever seen.
Wow.
It's all in Spanish. It's the music is like these cellos, these like stereo cellos that just build the tension. Like when stuff starts going off, like you just get to the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
It's really creative with the way they use the camera, the way they reveal certain things. Like there are brutally horrific things that you see in this film, and they're really creative about how they show you.
I'm sold.
And so, I mean, it's one of these really cool, like this, there's like an idea that like all major religions have kind of like quieted down, like something happened to where they just sort of went away. And every now and then something that's called a rotten, like an evil spirit, infects a person or an animal. and you have certain rules about how you handle it. So it's sort of like Evil Dead meets something a bit more realistic. Like they don't take it over the top as much, but it's a similar idea that like, you know, if you shoot the possessed with a gun, it's going to spread the evil. So you have to do it with like a religious tool. There are very few of these people that know how to do these things. Like it sets, the tension, and again, the acting is some of the best I've ever seen. Never heard of these people.
What's it on? Like, where can you find it?
I think it's going to be, I think Shudder is basically the company that brought it to the United States. It was filmed in Argentina, at least that's what it looks like. All the rest of the credits are in Spanish. So it's in the theater now. I saw it at the Harkins.
Oh, it's
in Goodyear.
Oh.
And then I think it's going to be on Shudder by like the 27th of the month.
Oh,
It's like an hour, 40 minutes. Man, definitely, I'd say the best horror movie I've seen this year so far.
Wow.
And I don't really like possession movies other than Evil Dead. It's like a different thing. But like The Exorcist, I think it's such a fantastic film. Obviously, the original Exorcist is great. Other possession movies I've seen since then, I'm sort of like, that you're all just like The Exorcist.
Wait, but Barbarian came out this year.
no, it was last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
My time is just messed up. I can't get the right years.
It's okay.
But yeah, so stuff on TikTok. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Like, you know, you go to a movie and you just like let people know what you're about to see, and then you cut it together with, hey, these are my initial thoughts, and it's just breadcrumbs. So maybe they check out your review and all that kind of stuff. So
Doing TikTok right. That's how you do it.
I'm just trying to get, you know, more consistent and more involved. And I haven't had a drink for about a week now, so I stopped drinking. That's another thing that's been going on in my life.
Oh yeah, dude.
When I met you guys, I was at a kind of like this pivotal moment. I was like just over 215 pounds in the middle of April. I met you guys on July 10th. I remember the day because it was Mad Monster.
You remember the day you met us?
Yeah. I met Dave McRae. I met you guys. So a couple things happened that day. I was like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to actually do this thing. My wife was super awesome, and she was like, well, if you're going to do it, then you got to do it. And I also decided to become an associate producer on It's Me, Billy Chapter 2 that Dave McRae is shooting with Bruce Dale. And have you guys seen It's Me, Billy Chapter 1?
I haven't seen it.
Are you familiar with Black Christmas?
Yeah.
The original Bob Clark?
Well, I mean, yeah, I've seen it. Have you seen it once?
So long ago.
It's really fucking good and really creepy. Yeah. It's your classic slow burn kind of slasher. My wife can't watch it because Billy says stuff on the telephone that is some of the most shocking shit I've ever heard. So anyways, it's a follow-up to that. They're really, they're just hopping down the line about 50 years from the original Black Christmas, and it's a true sequel because they've done 2 remakes, but they've never done a real sequel to Black Christmas. So,
yeah, I know they did the remake, and
I just supposed to. I think it was, I don't remember his name, in Behind the Mask, Herschel from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Remember, like, Leslie Vernon's, like, mentor?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's supposed to be the killer from Black Christmas.
He's supposed to be Billy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That was, like, the fan theory. The fan theory, at least.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, I mean, with It's Me, Billy Chapter 1, I really, love the way they shot that film. Love following up. Such a piece of horror history that's just been kind of left in the past, but it influenced Halloween. If you watch it, I highly recommend it. It's a great Christmas time flick. I really, respect what those guys do. So I was like, I'm going to become an associate producer here. I'm going to get more involved in the community. I'm going to do whatever I can to like lift up other people like myself and try to get like filmmakers, people that I think that are like really talented and doing something for horror that the studios are completely missing out on. Like supporting people like Womp Stomp Films and Never Hike Alone, which Never Hike Alone 2, it, probably comes out a few days after or before this is going to be released, but Friday the 13th here. So, go over to those guys' YouTube channel, watch it for free. It's really cool what they're doing. And so
my kid's really psyched to see Never Hike Alone 2. He loves Jason. So like, I showed him that trailer the other night. He's like, "Was it out? Can we go see it?" I'm like, "It's going to be on YouTube."
Yeah.
It's on YouTube? Like his brain exploded because like he's a little kid in YouTube, so he's like, "Yeah, I new Jason movie on YouTube." I'm like, "Yeah, dude." I didn't tell him it was like a fan film or anything. I told him like, "Yeah, new Jason."
Well, and that's the thing is like fan film is almost like it's not derogatory, but it's like you're not really like fan film implies that these are people that don't necessarily know how to go about it professionally. So when you watch something from Womp Stomp like Dylan's New Nightmare, or when you watch,
I consider like the Womp Stomp movies. I consider canon. Like, they're
especially
so good.
Bringing Tommy back for Never Hike Alone, and then bringing Miko back in Dylan's New Nightmare is like it's awesome. Like I hope we get a Freddy versus Jason where those guys team up and take both of them on.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
I mean, if that's where it's leading, that would be really cool. I understand that maybe they want to go and do their own stuff. But yeah, just trying to get more involved and, do whatever I can. So yeah, some big changes when I met you guys. So it's really cool to see you now a couple months down the line and be like, yeah.
Nice.
I'm
That's
actually doing it instead of just talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
I talked about it for like 10 years. So
Good.
Dude, that's dope. We need a little positivity.
So, make sure you guys follow Davey Deathray. Thank you for watching Scaredycast again. Go to scaredycast.com so you can see what the hell we're all up to. This episode of Scaredycast was brought to you by Sour Apple Gallery in North Glendale, Phoenix area off the 59th Avenue and the 101.
thank you.
It's the best toy shop. It's the best toy shop.
Best. You got cards, you got toys, you got games, you got everything there.
Everything. And it's the best prices. If you got used stuff, you can take it in to trade it, sell it. You get a good stuff on it. They're not trying to upcharge you like some of these other toy shops around here. You know what I mean?
There's even original art stuff you won't see anywhere else.
That's right. And we'll see you guys next time.
Take care.